Hey, Shannon from Alden's Landscaping. It's like 4 degrees this morning, pretty cold and windy. Other than loading my sand with this, which I just got done doing a pretty good sanding around, I think will be good for a while. So this is going to be in here for a few days. I figured I'd do some work to it. I don't want these videos to seem repetitious because I've done this before, but every winter this 430 loader and normally my excavator come in and get a pretty good going over whatever needs to get done, hoses, paint work. This loader had, I just got it needs a big time cleaning up. Dusty season this past summer was crazy. So I got going on it yesterday and I'm like, I probably should make a video. But what I normally do this time of year is bring them in. I take the air compressor, blow out all the heat ducts, air conditioning ducts, all the filters, change them. I did an oil change on it yesterday. Today we're going to start doing some of the other stuff that's going on with it, so I thought I'd tape it. And I'll show you, like this right here is a bracket I bought. I'm hoping I can take some type of wing nut, put it on here. I want to try to keep, there's a weight on the back of this that's all dug up, it's scratched up. I want to touch that up and paint it, but I want to drill and tap it and put 1 or 2 of these in, and I want to be able to keep a shovel on this. There's always something stuck in that bucket, it seems like, and it may not sound like a big deal, but if you're delivering loom to somebody and there's a bunch of gravel stuck in the corner of that and it ends up in that loom that you're delivering to somebody, they get pretty pissed off. And I don't blame them. So, and it seems like when you're loading, you look around, there's never a shovel. I got to walk all the way down the hill to grab a shovel. So I want to try to keep at least a square shovel on this all the time. So I'm going to make a bracket for that. And I'm also going to show the exhaust on this. This summer, the exhaust from Kubota blows right down at the ground and it was so dusty, it was just creating more dust. I made up a pipe this summer and put it on there, and then I backed into a boulder with it one day and it was just clamped on, so it came off. I'm gonna try to put something together with these today where I can MIG weld it on while it's in the shop. But I just thought I'd do an opening video and we'll go from there. I went to, I think Home Depot one night and they had the Husky shovels on sale, so now I know it's Home Depot. But this handle has a screw in it holding it onto this shaft. What I want to do, I wanted a new shovel because I'm going to cut it and I'm going to make it. I just took one of these and glued 2 pieces of rubber to each side, and urethaned it. So when that goes in here, I'm going to put a wing nut, Teflon wing nut, so that I can tighten that and that will stay on the back of this machine. But I don't want it sticking out further in the machine, so I'm going to go back and figure out where that length has to be, cut it, then I'll slide this handle on. Sometimes you have to heat these handles up with like a heat gun to get them to slide off, but we'll find out. So that's how much we had to cut off that handle to get it so it wouldn't stick out further in the machine. I'll go back here. I tried drilling this. I don't know what kind of steel that is, but I tried a couple different type brackets, and you try to drill into that. I've got real good drill bits in it. They just walk all over the place. I think that's so impure inside that you just get in there and there's like an air gap, so the drill takes off. What I'm going to try to do is when I'm welding up the exhaust on this, I'm just going to try to take the MIG welder and we'll see. I don't imagine it's going to weld real good neither, but we'll come up with something. That's going to lay there. That bracket will be here. Then I also can take a small bungee cord and go around it, and that will kind of keep it. This gets jarred around pretty good when you're using it. So I just want to show how difficult that was to get out. I tried heating it up, heat gun. Sometimes you boil them, put them in like a real hot water, they work. But this one here, I fought with it and fought with it and fought with it, and then I just put it in a vise and squeezed it. I was near the vise, I'm like, oh, I'll try that, and it worked. It folded it right up, that fiberglass handle. I'm going to show the exhaust on this loader comes straight down, and even when that got bent, so I had to cut it off this summer. But even when that was straight, it was even closer to the ground, so it would just create dust. Like you don't understand it until you get a real dry summer like we had last summer, where when I was screening, it was just a dust ball everywhere I went. So this would blow down, dust up things. It would pull into the radiator. I was literally taking the air filters and stuff out of this every day. I just don't understand why they would have that blowing down on the ground. Maybe it ain't a big issue to them, but I think it's funny how this little horseshoe here is cut out, and same with the weight. And I'm going to put the other pipe on, just kind of quickly fit it. And like I said, I basically got 2 pieces from Napa. I did this before with clamps and it didn't stay on there. This thing just jars around too much, so it fell off one day and I never found it. So I'll throw these on and I'll put the camera back on. I just want to show that's what we ended up with. I had to cut about 1 inch off each one of those. That leaves me about 3/8 of an inch off this weight. Nothing here should move. The little bit that motor moves around, I'm just gonna mark this with a marker. So I want to weld this up top. That way I'm only laying on my back to weld it to the factory tailpipe. But I think that's gonna work out pretty good. That's gonna have it shooting out straight out the back. I think that's gonna make a lot more sense. These new machines don't smoke neither. Other than that, I've never understood why there's a lot of machines designed like this where the exhaust just comes out from underneath and the cab's right above it. These new diesels, I don't know if I've ever seen this thing blow black smoke at all. Even when you lug it down, it just stalls out. The new emissions that are on these, they've got them running so lean, which I don't agree with. But all right, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna weld this up. I might turn the camera back on for that, and I'm gonna try to weld that thing onto this weight. I got a funny feeling it ain't gonna go good, but we'll find out. Probably gonna throw something on that. I don't think that's gonna get cut enough, but I'm gonna see if I got some IAP paint. Other than that, that will rot out there in about 2 seconds probably. People always want to look at the weld. It ain't bubble gum. You gotta be careful on this exhaust pipe. You don't want to hang around on that too long, or it'll burn through. But that's gonna work out good. I'm gonna wire brush that real quick and we'll go underneath. Out of the side, I think I'll be able to get out of that. That's gonna be good. Alright. One down. About a 1/2 inch of that. There's like a 1/2 inch of that I can't get. It's up, there's a shield for the bottom of the motor, but it slid on there real tight, so I'm not too concerned about it. Like I said, just looking to stop that dust blowing up all the time. That handle, that bracket actually welded on. What I did is I wire brushed a good little cavity there, and it welded pretty good. I was surprised. And I'll show you the exhaust. Came out. We'll start it up right now and see what it sounds like. Like a teenage kid when you used to put exhaust on a performance car. Kubotas don't make a lot of noise anyways, even when you're revving on them. That's why I think that's why they're so popular with generators and stuff. But like I said, I got that far enough away from the weight, I don't believe it's ever going to rattle. Or if it does, I'll squeeze it down a little bit or something, I don't care. Hopefully I don't back into too much. Shut that off real quick. Alright, that's 2 things down. And the shovel I put back together, and that will lay in there like that. I glued 2 pieces of rubber on the inside of that. I'm going to use, what I did is I found a wing nut with a Teflon piece in it. That sets in there so that I tighten that with my finger. That ain't something I'm going to use every day, but I want it on this machine. You'll know when you get a tractor, having a way of holding a chainsaw or a shovel or chains, it's just not easy. I don't like, I normally keep a chain on this, but it's normally on the floorboards in your way all the time. I might even hang a chain back here. We'll see what happens. But when you're you just get in a situation where you need a chain, don't have it, you got to run all the way down to the house, or if you're on a job site and don't have it, it's irritating. Normally I got a truck with me with a chain in it, but like I said, the shovels, sometimes you're a pretty good distance away from your truck, but I think that'll work. Well, I'm going to clamp it in that one clamp and just get a small bungee cord to go around that eyelet in the middle, and that should stay there. Like I said, this bounces around pretty good, especially when you're loading trucks and digging. But I just thought that's a couple things down, and like I said, I'll clean up the interior a little bit. I've already blown all the air ducts out. It's just unbelievable where dust got in this year. It's the worst I've ever seen it in this machine. And then we'll decide. We're gonna probably paint this weight. What I did, I think I got the piece somewhere here. Oh, right here. So I took this piece and spray painted it with the spray bomb that Kubota gives you. They're very expensive. I want to say it's like 26 bucks a can, and the stuff smells horrible, so I don't like using it, and I don't think there's much UV protection to it. So I made this little plate up, and that's the color they came up with. So I had some urethane paint mixed up. We're going to do the steps on each side and that rear weight, and it's also the same color I need underneath the excavator when I clean that up for the undercarriage. I got that rear weight sanded down. I just used 220 with a DA. It's going to be good enough. I'll blow that off in the morning, probably paint that with that urethane. I'm going to do the steps on either side. Other than that, that's got an oil change. The hydraulic fluid I just did right before winter, so too pricey to do it for no reason. Oil changes, I don't mind doing quicker than this. You have to. If something comes in, I normally change the fuel filter and give it an oil change, and that's what I did with this. So it's got a new fuel filter, oil change, air filter. I also found there was a hose up here. A rock got in between, even though there's protective coatings on there. A rock got in between and rubbed enough to make a hose leak. And that, it didn't leak a lot, it was just enough to keep this thing messy. And again, normally I'd power wash something like this before I brought it in, but it's been cold. When winter hit this year, it's just been too cold, you can't get a power washer out, or I'm not gonna bother. But I figured out what was leaking there, fixed that, and that's the whole idea. I try to fix, I want this ready to roll as soon as spring gets here. So I'm gonna grease it real good. I'm gonna try to clean some of that old grease off. Again, I'd like to power wash it. It's just 4 degrees today, and I think that's the high. And it feels it. I mean, it's gross outside. But that's when it's nice to have a shop. But I want to say that I don't want to seem like it's repetitious videos, but you're gonna see me bring this machine and my excavator in almost every winter and kind of go through it. This one here has some pretty good meaning to me. It's a personal thing, but I don't believe this will ever go anywhere. I'm not saying I won't buy another one, but this one here will never leave me. So that, and like I said, the excavator, it's too hard to replace these things. And I've said in the past video on my excavator, I'm probably going to get a smaller one and just keep that for the rock wall stuff. And get a smaller one that's not going to get treated as bad. Putting the camera back on, I just thought of a thing. The other day I talked to somebody, and another contractor over in Maine, right near me though. He works in the same area I do basically. But I was talking to him one day, and he always says, "Geez, your equipment always looks good." And I told him, I said, when I was younger in this business, I didn't have the money. So maybe that was my excuse, I don't know. But like I tell everybody, when you're on a job site and you break something, don't bring it home broken and let it sit there. If you ain't got time to bring it home and fix it within a week or so, have someone else fix it. Because the next time you need that and it's broke, you do that with like bush hogs and stuff like that. I broke the blade on. What normally happens with a bush hog, you break a blade off. But this is the time of year where you've got to take advantage. You've got to keep enough money in the fall so you can do this type of maintenance, because this just makes your life so much easier in the spring when everything's ready to roll. So the guy I was talking to said that I should add that in this video, because a lot of guys probably have that attitude, including himself. He said that there's a lot of times I'll go to grab something, I'm like, oh yeah, I broke that last time I used it. But again, adding that to this video, this is something you've got to find time to do if you're a landscape business, construction business. You got to get that stuff in. The stuff you're not using a lot in the winter, bring it in and go through it. And I mean everything. Check the grease fittings, bearings, whatever it is for equipment. Change the gear oil. Again, I just said earlier in the video, I changed the fuel filters. A lot of people would be like, I'm only doing that once a year. Do what you want. My equipment's always running good. It's never down. And I think that has a lot, the maintenance has a lot to do with it. All right, I'll get back to it. I just painted the steps in this rear weight on this 430 loader. That's I should say inexpensive urethane from Napa. It matches, I think, real good. I wanted something simple to paint this, and I'm going to do the undercarriage of my 040 excavator, but it does look like it's going to be a real good match. So, but I just thought I'd take a shot of that. And show, it's normally Martin Senior. It's been a while since I bought urethane from Napa, but this is Valspar. That's what they sell now at the Napa store. Called the 327 series single stage acrylic urethane enamel. So basically that quart gets activated with that pint. We'll see. I wanted something with pretty good UV protection, which spray bomb stuff you get doesn't tend to have. But that laid out like glass and it's tacking up, so I'm not thinking it's going to run to the floor. I know a lot of guys that are painting cars with this right now and liking it. We'll see how it goes. I just taking a quick video of that shovel mount being on there. That does work. I just glued some rubber on each side, tighten that with a wing nut, with a Teflon nut. Put that one little bungee cord and that's on there tight, so that won't be bouncing around. And I'm also going to say I'm pretty impressed with that Valspar paint from Napa. It lays out good. I welded on there too, no runs. It starts tacking right up, like probably within 2 minutes after you spray it, so that's kind of cool. I might actually try to paint something. The undercarriage of my excavator is going to be something that's got to look pretty good. You're going to be really looking at that all the time. Yeah, I said earlier in the video that I've talked to a couple guys in town that I didn't realize it switched over to Valspar, but they said they've been using that for a while. About the most inexpensive way to paint a car now, I guess, is with that, single stage urethane. Back in my day, it was just acrylic enamel was the cheap way to go. I do a lot of stuff with base coat, clear coat. I just couldn't see doing this. And like I said, the undercarriage of my excavator, I just wanted something tough, and this is what the guy at my local Napa suggested to me. We'll see how it goes. It might be something you see more on my channel. I've seen, like I said, a couple guys. I know there's a body shop a town away from me. I talked to him last weekend about it, and he says it seems to be a real good paint as far as the gloss. But again, like I said, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I'm going to say again, I don't want to be repetitious with videos, but this is a piece of equipment you're going to probably see a video on every year where I clean it up a little bit, go through the maintenance. But again, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.